What ideas do you have to reduce poverty in Canada?
Well, that's a tricky one because that's a very complex issue. It's not just related to the shortage of food, for example. There's many issues that drive poverty. I would say it would be something that needs a more holistic approach. Everything from education, healthcare, probably things related to mental health to help drive a better quality of life for those individuals. So I don't think it's a single solution. I think it's more of a complex issue.
I would say equal job opportunities for everyone. That's what I think is the best, and like really giving people information on where to apply and how to apply. Because most people don't even know how to structure a resume when they're looking for a job. So I think that's the major thing, like educating people on how to look for a job rather than just telling people go find one.
I think we all need to take part in that and really, really support the people that need our help that are out there on the streets, right? I think we can turn a lot more buildings into more homeless shelters. Like there's buildings here that aren't being used. They're just sitting there rotting away. Well, why not fix those buildings, get them up to code, and get people in off the streets, right? That's what I think.
The politicians can't figure it out, so I can hardly do it. But create more jobs would be the first thing. And to reduce the cost of living so other people can afford to work. People are quitting now because they can't afford to get to work with the gas prices.
Attitude towards poverty needs to change, and I think building a stronger middle class through support networks and social structures is the way to do that.
Removing tax or lower the tax. Since Canada has probably the highest level of taxes all over the world, so drop the tax. Bank fees, internet fees, solar phone fees, all of this also should be dropped because we are the highest in the world.
I think to help reduce poverty, I know like what I see for sure is there's a ton of food waste, and even if we'd lived in New York City for a while, and obviously a homeless problem there, and during that time there were a lot of vacant hotels, and even normally there's a lot of hotel space that isn't being utilized, and they were trying to help the homeless population by giving them a hotel room, and they were kind of seeing that, by helping to take them off the streets and provide shower and opportunities and things like that, it
helps.
I
think a lot of it is just lack of opportunity. I think there's a lot of work that could be done in communities, like sustainability, like agriculture. I feel like a lot of that isn't really addressed, and a lot of it is work that I feel like a lot of people don't want to do, but there are lots of willing people that are out of luck that would be more than happy to, and I think that's a big missed opportunity.
We need to reduce the stigma as well as for homeless people. I think it's really important that the stigma is reduced for them because it's hard living that way. I know people myself that are struggling with that, and housing right now is so expensive. It's really important that we have affordable housing.
Better mental health maybe, so that people are able to work. More work-life balance maybe for people to better, I guess childcare is going in the right direction, so people are able to work and get jobs that are able to pay for daycare, I guess, where it's going to be more feasible.
I think universal benefit has been proven in other countries to effectively manage some of the lower end, disparity. You want to try and even things out, that's the way to do it.
Mental health supports awareness treatment. Actually treat it like healthcare, because it is. If your mind isn't well, your body isn't going to be well. It's not like we leave our brains at the door when our bodies are getting treated. We need to be treating people as opposed to statistics or individual illnesses.
A basic income that could almost kind of go with somebody that also works. Like, there is a basic income that, we can look after a lot of our, basic necessities and whatnot. But if, you have the will and you want to work, to get, the extra stuff, you can go out and do that as well. So I feel like it'd be nice to get everybody on a level where, okay, basic necessities are met and that money's a little bit more looked after.
Small businesses are disappearing. And big multinational business are taking over, but we're not seeing any benefits. They get a lot of funding from government, a lot of support. The private business, the small business, the independent business, not getting the same support. They employ the same number of people. So something wrong with it. We have to look really at how to support our local businesses, independent businesses, especially for a small place like BI. So we have to think about that, having a committee to look at, supporting local and independent business.
That's a really, really, really tough one, and I don't really think there are any easy answers to it. I think that one of the things that the pandemic has definitely shown us is that these types of issues can affect different Canadians differently. I do think that we should be careful about allocating resources when they're not being based on greatest need. So, for example, I think that means testing is a very effective way to make sure that the right amount of support is going to the right people at the right time.
Minimum wage is probably part of it. I think, getting minimum wage up to at least $15 an hour. I think that's probably the biggest step they could take to help. It's not going to solve it, but would help.